What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I'm your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette, and I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight. We do have a good couple of topics to talk about. Denzel has to issue an apology. Chris Evans could be making a comeback. And of course, we got to talk about y'all movie, Kraven, the Hunter. I do apologize for being late. Just so you guys know, might as well just tell y'all now since you're here on the live. I just got off of my last From interview. If you had watched my other interview with the creators of From, if you noticed, I talked to two of the three of the creators, and I got to talk to the third one. That's right, Jack Bender, the director of From, many of the From episodes. I just got done doing my interview with him. I will be posting that tomorrow so everybody can see. So make sure that you are subscribed, locked in, all that good stuff. Pretty good talk, pretty good chat. I might have gotten a couple more answers for y'all. I might have. So make sure you tune in for that. Of course, y'all, I'm always working for y'all. I'm trying out there. What else do we have? So I had some other announcements. I just by the way, shout out to the wife. Shout out to Mrs. Eman. We just celebrated our 12th year anniversary. And that has been a very, very good time to celebrate with her. So we just got done coming from dinner and all of that good stuff. So just want to say shout out to the queen out there for putting up with my mess for 12 years. Yikes. Like, talk about endurance. So I appreciate her, love her, and just want to give her some shout outs and some praise for that. Also, in case you missed it, because y'all should be following me. I don't know why you're not following me, but your boy was out there traveling. I was making some rounds, doing some things. I was out there in them streets, not the bad way, but I did attend the 7th annual celebration of Black cinema and TV for Critics' Choice. Wonderful, wonderful time out there. I actually I didn't have a lot of time, but I was able to at least get a quick photo bomb with the queen. Y'all see her right there, Miss Regina King. I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but listen, if I could stand in the presence of any queen for 2-3 seconds, I'm fine with that. I'm very okay with that. So I didn't get to talk to her, but hopefully, next time I will get the opportunity. She was being celebrated and honored at that event. I did get to talk to a couple other people, not too much. Okay, let me just say this. If I have taken a picture with a celebrity before, I'm not going to double dip. Okay, at least that's my policy. I'm not going to sit here and be like, can we take another picture even though we took one last year? No, I ain't going to do all that. Once I get my picture, that's for me. That's so for memories. I'm good. But, sometimes I do run into people that I've talked to before. I did run into Aldis, and I did make sure to tell him, Aldis, it's still up there. I made sure to let him know I got the right one. So just in case, if Aldis, he don't watch this, but I'm just saying, I got the right one. So I did get a chance to talk to brother Aldis. That was pretty cool. Aldis Hodge, by the way, in case anybody didn't know. But the crowning achievement of the night, and I posted it, so some of y'all probably seen it. Best moment of the whole night. Sat there, I was like, man, I know that black man from somewhere. I said, hey, yo, Mr. Fish and Loaves, how's it going? Yes, I finally got to, it happened, y'all. It finally happened. Your boy finally got to meet the legendary Harold Perrineau. What a wonderful, wonderful time. That was just fantastic to do. Y'all see the movie blog over there in the corner trying to photobomb. I forgot to Photoshop him out my picture, but he was there too. He got his picture too. But yeah, the incomparable Harold Perrineau, meeting him was fantastic. Got a chance to just, thank him from and, talk a little bit here and there. Super nice. Like, y'all, I can't, they say don't meet your heroes. They not talking about him. That's the guy you want to meet. That's the guy, like, he's as genuine and as nice as they come. So shout out to Mr. Harold Perrineau of From. That was just a wonderful, wonderful time. And I really appreciated him. Just, for kind words and just meeting and talking. Fantastic. All right. So we got all that together. Let's see. We got I can't keep y'all too late tonight. I know we're not doing no after dark with this, but let me see who made it out, and we can give some quick shout outs. Let's see. Is it Sergeant or Surgeon? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Minister Crush, what is up? Good to see you as well. My man, Mr. Mitchell, is back. Hello, Corey. How you doing? Diane, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. The homie Rhonda is back. Good to see you. Samantha, what is up? Paulette is back. MC, hello. Kid Mello, how you doing? My man Nelson V is here. Dex, good to see you. Rachel, hello. Talented One, what is up? Who else? My man John Robinson, what is going on? Angel, what's up? Good to see you. Wouldn't be alive without Ms. Harper. Good to see you as well. Thank you so much. Who else did I see? There we go. Tyra, what is up? Big Bo, what is going on? It has been a while. Oh man, so sorry for your loss, Big Bo. Condolences to you and the fam, man. I'm hoping that everything, that you managing as best as you can. Sorry for your loss, man. Sorry for your loss. Good to see you, though. It's very, very good to see you. Mama J, what is up? Good to see you as well. Let's see. Shar, hello. Good to see you. What up, Raymond? Appreciate you coming through. Extraordinaire is back. Good to see you. Last of my kind. Hello. Or Ken, what is up? Who else did I see all the way across the pond? My man, Stamina MC. What is up? Miss Natalie is back. Smoke ass. Some cat. There we go. What is going on? Samke. Is it Samke? Okay. Samke. Thank you. Thank you for the pronoun. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all helping a brother out. Samke. I got it. Thank you so much for not letting me brutalize your name. Dwight, what is up? Jay, hello. Callow, what is going on? Who else did I see? Catherine, good to see you. Thank you so much. Rockvets, hello. And I think we have gotten most of them. Derek, my man, what is up? And shout out to everyone that has made it out tonight. Appreciate y'all so much. Let's see. Claus, thank you so much. Happy anniversary. Congrats on 12 years. Just got home from watching Kraven. Looking forward to your review. Are you? Are you? Because yikes. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're going to talk about Kraven for sure. And then I'm also going to tell you guys my top 4 reasons why Sony has failed. We're going to talk about that too. I'm going to break it down. I think there's some obvious things and there are some not so obvious things, but we're going to talk about that for sure. All right, let's get into these because like I said, we can't be here all night. So let's do some quick updates. Just a couple of things that are in the movie world just to kind of keep you up to date real fast. Evil Dead. I have really enjoyed the new revival series. I thought that they've done a really good job with it. But the new movie, the next one, is going to be called Evil Dead Burn. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm supposed to what to do with that, but I'm just glad that there's another movie only because I really like the direction that the Evil Dead series has gone. I'm glad they're not doing all the campy stuff that Sam Raimi started off with. Just listen, be dark, be violent, be scary. That's all I need from Evil Dead. That's it. I don't need no jokes. I don't need no corny, goofy humor. This is what I like. This is what I want. So thank you so much for that. Let's see what else. Oh, my daughter's gonna love this. There's a live action Tangled remake that is in the works at Disney. Looks like The Greatest Showman director is going to also be doing this. I feel like this is just an easy layup. Like, cast whoever you want, whatever. I know my daughters are gonna be like, Daddy, we gotta go see Tangled. I'm like, y'all done seen Tangled 15 million times on Disney Plus. Like, they literally watch it all the time. And they got a TV series on top of that. So it's kind of like, damn, more. But what am I gonna do? Tell them no? Anyway. So there's more Tangled if you are a fan of the franchise. Speaking of a fan of franchises, man, oh man, I don't know about y'all, but I definitely grew up on some Tom and Jerry, and it looks like there's going to be another animated film in the works at Warner Brothers. You're gonna have Rashida Jones, Will McCormick, and Michael Govier as writing the script. I don't know why they're making a movie for this. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, people like myself and much older, have enjoyed Tom and Jerry. I mean, like, me and my dad used to watch Tom and Jerry all the time, so it's definitely something there, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, is it a little too late? Like, the last Tom and Jerry movie that came out, because they made one, I want to say, you know what? I don't remember when that came out, but I want to say, let's see, Tom and Jerry movie. What did anybody remember the last one? Not the 2021 movie, not that one. There was another one before that. I want to say I had it on VHS. Because they did that other movie where there was live action or whatever, and all. It didn't do it for me. It didn't do it. But anyway, whatever. Let me know if y'all interested in this Tom and Jerry movie at all. But whatever. What else we got? We also have an update on Adam Sandler's Happy Gilmore 2. That is going to be coming to Netflix in July 2025. But Eminem, yes, the famous rapper, has also been cast in the film. As you know, in Happy Gilmore, you do have a lot of celebrity cameos and stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe Happy Gilmore is going to be going against Eminem in a celebrity golfing tournament or something. Maybe Eminem is going to be the one that's going to take over, Bob Barker, the late Bob Barker's role, and get in a fight with Happy Gilmore. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see where they go with that. But of course, adding more stars probably won't hurt. We got a little Star Wars update. Jeremy Allen White, y'all know him from The Bear. He is officially going to star as Jabba the Hutt's son in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Here's my thing about this. Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you playing this role? Keep in mind, this is the same guy who supposedly went and had an interview with Marvel and basically was like, man, screw y'all. In so many words, like, screw y'all. I don't need no Marvel role, man, whatever. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? My man wanted to go do some more, acting and stuff. What did he do? He did Iron Claw and all this other stuff. That's fine. But then you turn around and go do this. So Marvel was too good for you, but you want to go be Jabba the Hutt's son? All right. Well, the choices. Okay, whatever. What else do we have? Oh, TV update. So Malcolm in the Middle, a very popular show. I did not watch Malcolm in the Middle, but a revival series is in the works at Disney Plus. A lot of the original cast will be back and reprise their roles. From what I read, it had something to do with Malcolm and his daughter get an invite to his parents' 40-year anniversary, and of course chaos ensues. So there's that. And I believe it also said that this is only going to be 4 episodes long. So little mini thing, nothing major. But hey, good for them. I don't know if y'all were fans of this show. Please let me know if this is something you're excited for or not. But we'll wait and see what happens with that. Let's see. Oh no, let's not do that one yet. Okay, we do have a movie update, and this one is because, of course, we need more sequels, right? Meet the Parents Part 4 is currently in the works. You're gonna get Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Terry Polo, and Blythe Danner. They're all in talks to reprise their roles. Listen, I will say that in what are the mid 2000s, 2010s, whatever, Ben Stiller was cooking. Okay, Tropic Thunder, Meet the Fockers. My man was cooking for a minute. You know, what was that? Something About Mary. You know, like he had a good run. I do wonder if this is going to still work. I do wonder. I'm curious if this will happen, if this will work, if the comedy will still be as powerful. I don't know. But it's hard for me to doubt Ben Stiller. Like Ben Stiller does a pretty good job. And you know, Zoolander was funny. I didn't watch Zoolander 2. But I have enjoyed his comedy over the years. I think we were just watching Night at the Museum. That was cool. So you know, listen, we'll see. You know, I have no idea, no details about what this is going to be about. But I don't know. Y'all let me know. Are y'all excited for a Meet the Parents sequel? How did you feel about Meet the Parents? I don't even remember all the stories. I think I remember the first one. I remember Meet the Fockers. I don't remember the third movie. I think there was like a little spinoff, wasn't it? Like the Little Fockers or something. I don't know. But anyway, y'all let me know how you feel about that. We talked about this. There was going to be an American Psycho reboot, right? So there was going to be a new American Psycho. I believe the same guy who just directed Challengers, he was doing this reboot. But the question was like, okay, you had Christian Bale who was going to play, you know, who played the main character, but like who would you get to play this time? You know, like in this remake. Now, I had always said Glenn Powell should be the main person because he's got that classic white boy American innocent looking face. But to have him turn around and be all sick and seditious, that would be great. That would be great. But Hollywood doesn't listen to me. But they went ahead and cast somebody else. Can y'all guess who is going to be the new American Psycho? Too late. You ain't got time for that because it's Austin Butler. That's right. The same guy that gave you Elvis is now going to be your new American Psycho. Now, I don't. He's definitely not the top of my list. He's not the guy that I would have been like, oh, yeah. He can give me that duality. Now, maybe he can, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, he's definitely not the person I would have envisioned to be that two-faced kind of person. So I think what's really going to depend on this now is he's really going to have to show us his talent. Okay, so I'm not saying he can't do it, but I'm saying this is going to be a true test of how much range Austin Butler really has. So, you know, like it's on him now, right? It's on him. You've got to show us that night and that day, and you've got to make us believe. You got to make us believe that, yeah, you could be a killer, but also you could be that, you know, unsuspecting, you know, a coworker that we've all had to work with that we never would suspect. That's the real challenge in this role. So again, wouldn't have been my top pick, but we'll have to wait and see. But you guys let me know. How did you feel about all those updates? How did you feel about Austin Butler being American Psycho? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Derek, what you got? Thank you so much. It's been a while. How's Kobe? Kobe is good. Kobe is good. He just finally got done with his shedding. So now he is no longer shedding anymore. So, because for whatever reason, whenever he sheds, he smells. So yeah, that is done with. Happy about that. I think my boy done learned a lesson. He done. I think he finally learned a lesson because in Chicago we already getting our like teens in terms of the weather out here. So usually what I do is I used to go on long walks with him when I'm walking him, but it's cold outside. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm like, hey man, go do your number one outside in the back. And what will happen is that'll shorten up the walks, right? Because now once you drained out number one, you good to just do whatever you got to do. Man, this dog went outside, felt that 9-degree weather. He took his little, did his little number one, did his little number one, and he was just like, boop. Number two, okay, we inside. I said, you don't want to walk? No, ain't got time to walk. I was like, my boy, that's my boy right there. You don't want to walk in no 9-degree weather? Let me tell you, I used to have to get dressed up. I had to bring out the big old coat with the fur on it, had to put the ski mask on, the 2 gloves and everything, just to go outside for him to be sniffing and frolicking. Bro, it's too cold to frolic. And I'm glad he finally understood. We ain't frolicking in no single-degree weather outside. Them days is over, okay? So now my boy is smart. He go out, do his business, come right in. Take about 2 minutes at most. That's my boy. That's my boy right there. So anyway, let's see, Derek, what you said here. Secret level on Prime. Yes, it is on the docket. I got it. I will absolutely be checking that out for sure. Oh, by the way, hold on. Let me thank you for that, Derek. Appreciate you. Let me update this real quick because I know we talked about it last time. But I want to talk about it again. So I talked to y'all about Pantheon last week. And everything I talked about before, I'll just reiterate real quick. Fantastic, introduction to it. I had no idea about it. It's currently on Netflix. The first season is on Netflix. And the best way I can describe it was Black Mirror meets Apple. And now that I found out, shout out to y'all, somebody told me that there was a second season. I can also say it's got a mix of the Matrix in there as well. So but let me just say this. So like I watched the first season, loved it, thought the first season was fantastic. I really liked the sci-fi that they put into the show, and I really enjoyed just the concepts of how realistic this really seemed to be. And then I got to season 2. So I'm super excited. I'm watching season 2. And boy, season 2 pushes things to the limit. Like, the way season 1 ended, I was like, dang, what's going to happen now? No, they tell you what's going to happen. And what I enjoyed was the fact that they took the concept of whatever was going on with the characters, with the world, with everything, society, all of that. And they pushed that sucker so far, conceptually, thematically. They was like, listen, ain't gonna be like no 28 days later, what happens next year? No. They pushed that sucker all the way to the limit. And I would say that it is where it gets very high level in terms of the concepts that they dig into. I love it because, to me, it really mixed a lot of sci-fi, philosophy, and maybe even religious theology in a sense. And I really enjoyed it. Like, for me, now I don't know if season 2 will be for everybody, because it pushes your imagination. Your sci-fi imagination has to go to a limit. And I don't know if it's going to be for everybody, but I will say that I actually enjoyed it. So if I had to rate both seasons just real quick, and obviously I'm not going into depth here. First season, I'd probably say was like an 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. Second season, I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. But again, I do think that it will be something that, it might not appeal to everyone in that way. But just wanted to mention that real quick because I really do enjoy what they did. And I appreciate the ambition that it took in terms of how they went about the storytelling. All right, just wanted to get that off the chest. Next up, we have Prison Break. Y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I watched Prison Break when it came out. It was on Fox. This thing had me in a whole chokehold. This show was so freaking good. Them first 2 seasons, I'll say the first 2 seasons was nothing but fire. I absolutely love this. For those of you that don't know, Prison Break is about these two brothers. Lincoln, he was put into jail for a crime he didn't commit. And his brother, Michael, he had to come up with this big old elaborate plan, had all these tattoos and stuff to break his brother out. One of the best shows out there, period. Like this, like I was watching this and 24 at the same time. Y'all couldn't talk to me. Like I was locked in so much. Fantastic series. Now, I will say it did start to get a little weak later on. I want to say this thing went to 5 seasons, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Season 3, I think did they do the Mexico thing? I don't know. Maybe they did Mexico, whatever. Season 3 was kind of a stretch, and then season 4, season 5, to me, it didn't end off as strongly as it started. But the first 2 seasons was enough. Like once you watch them first 2 seasons, you locked in. So, because to me, I think they really should have ended it by season 2, maybe season 3. Anyway. And they did a spin-off movie, I think, as well, but they just did too much. They did too much. But we do have an update on Prison Break. And that is, as y'all can probably guess, Prison Break reboot is in development. And that's going to be landing a pilot order from Hulu. This is going to be a new iteration of the series. It is not expected to feature the characters like Michael Schofield or Lincoln Burrows. Instead, it's going to just exist in the same universe as the original Prison Break, but it will focus on a new crew of inmates. So it is not going to be more of the same. Yes, so this was 5 seasons, had a TV movie, The Final Break, did not watch that. And a low budget spinoff, Prison Break Proof of Innocence, which was exclusively available on mobile phones. Who the hell watches movies on mobile phones like that? Why would they do that? Anyway, here's my only concern. It's coming to Hulu. That, to me, I don't know if that's going to be a great landing place for this. I mean, y'all might as well go on Peacock if you're just gonna drop it that way. I'm just saying Hulu has a couple shows. What is Handmaid's Tale? Is that on Hulu? I haven't watched it, so I don't know. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to see the pilot. This is gonna be one of those shows. I'm gonna have to be like, I'll wait to see. Like, you know how sometimes you gotta wait for other people to talk about a show before you could jump into it. It's almost the equivalent of the entertainment version of who all gonna be there, So I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna watch it. But I will say, I'll keep an ear out. I'll keep an ear out to see what happens because, again, the first show, it was really, really good. So anyway, you guys let me know. Are you excited for a Prison Break reboot? Is this something you're looking forward to? Did you watch all of Prison Break before? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Oh, hold on. I gotta give some props real quick. Who is this? First of all, shout out to the homie Charlissa. Thank you so much for the $50 cash app. I appreciate you so much. Let's see. And oh man, to my man Travis says happy anniversary. Thank you, brother, for the $20 cash app. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Oh, we do have an update for we got an update for Barbie. So, Barbie, the live action film, did a whole lot in the theaters, hitting over $1 billion. I will say I didn't even see that coming. That was just like I was like, oh, it's just gonna be another Barbie movie. Nah, that sucker was it hit. It hit. And I like the movie. I thought the movie was decent too. But the question is kind of like, come on now, what y'all think the studio's gonna do when you hit $1 billion with a movie? And this is WB now. What you think they're gonna want to do? Of course, they gonna want to do another one. So we do have an update, kind of, on how this could be happening or not. It does say that the Barbie sequel's in early stages. It's in early stages. According to the Hollywood Reporter, they have learned from a well-placed source that Greta Gerwig and her husband Noah Baumbach have been swept up in an undertow and hatched an idea for the sequel, having already brought it to WB. While it's said to be in early stages, it is understood that the final finding the story has opened the door for deal talk, which again is early. Now, usually when this happens, the big outlets, they have to go reach out to the studios just to give them a chance to respond, leave a comment. Well, they responded. So a rep for the studio and a rep for the filmmakers pushed back. They said straight cap. It ain't happening. There is no legitimacy to this reporting. And a WB rep said the Hollywood Reporter's reporting is inaccurate. Well, shout out to the Hollywood Reporter for even posting that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just saying, like, I know my pride would be hurt. If I sat here and was like, y'all, I got this scoop, and the studio was like, nah, you lying, I'd be like, dang, okay, I don't think I'm gonna talk about this. Not if y'all saying I'm lying, though, But here's the thing. Y'all just making a deal. So of course you're not gonna announce nothing right now. I'm just saying I believe the source in this case. It makes more sense that one, y'all want a sequel because the first movie made over $1 billion. So let's not pretend like you are not interested in having this happen. Second, let's not pretend Greta and her husband Noah, like they not about to sit here and cash in on making this happen. So of course, if there's going to be a sequel that we know you want, y'all not going to want to talk about it because y'all probably still making the deal right now. So I believe them. I believe the sources right now. I do not believe the studio, not one bit. It says here, per one source, Baumbach will get started on writing the Barbie sequel, with between him and Greta passing it back and forth as they typically do. I believe she said here that then what they do is they listen to hear if the other person is laughing. That's pretty good. So yeah, a Barbie sequel is definitely happening. I don't know why they pretending like it's not. But of course, the main question is going to be, what is the story going to be about? Because I don't think anybody could have predicted what the first story was going to be about, So they did also mention that they keep those stories and they don't want anything to leak, which I think is fantastic because part of the appeal with Barbie was we didn't know what to expect. I don't even think the trailers really gave us a good understanding, except for Barbie's going in the real world. So, especially given the ending to Barbie, it will be kind of interesting to see where they go with it, what they do with it. So I don't know. For the most part, right now, I'm somewhat interested. I kind of want to see where they go with it, but we'll have to wait and see. But you guys let me know, how do you feel about a Barbie sequel happening? Is this something that you are interested in? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. We have some DCU updates. Now, this was something that was reported before, but now it seems like it is actually official. And we just got the green light, or at least the announcement, that Clayface is going to be another addition to the DCU. It says here um, that the DC Studios has officially greenlit a feature film centered around Clayface. And this is going to be coming from filmmaker Mike Flanagan. Y'all might remember him from Doctor Sleep. He did also Midnight Mass, The Haunting on what was it? The Haunting on Haunted Hill, or whatever it was, Hill House, Haunting of Hill House. So he's done a lot of things. He did Gerald's Game on Netflix as well. And this movie is going to be coming out September 11th, 2026. But Mike Flanagan has been talking about this for a while. Like, he's been very adamant about how much he's wanted to do a Clayface movie. Matter of fact, he had also said that this was going to be described as a horror tragedy with the character not painted as a villain. The budget's going to be around 40 million, which seems very low. And yeah, he likes all the Clayface episodes and Batman the Animated Series. And I'll admit, that's where I got introduced to Clayface. I did not know about Clayface until I watched one of the greatest animated series of all time, Batman the Animated Series. And yeah, Clayface was on there. So, like, for me, I'm just kind of curious, if the budget is only 40 million, which is very, very low, what are they going to do? Like, is he going to be prosthetics? Is he going to be, because he's basically like a mud man, kind of like Sandman, but like with water. But he also has the ability to take on different people's forms. He can shapeshift. So you would think that a character like that, a person like that, would need some more VFX or maybe practical effects. So I'm just kind of curious how they're going to go about this. But I do find it interesting that this is going to be in the DCU. And speaking of the DCU, we actually have some other timelines here. You also have, let's see, Superman. So Superman is going to be coming out July 11, 2025. Supergirl will come out June 26th in 2026. So Clayface is going to come in after that, September 11th, 2026. And what's interesting to me is Clayface is a Batman villain. So this sounds like this Clayface movie is going to obviously be an origin film, because you don't have the DCU version of Batman yet. It is not going to be Robert Pattinson. He is going to be in the Elseworlds. So that's the outside of the DCU main continuity. So yes, Batman 2, as you see, will be October 2nd, 2026. But you do not have Batman Brave and the Bold. That has not been greenlit yet. But yet, you're not only are you going to have a Batman villain have his own movie, but you also got the dynamic duo, which is supposed to come out June 30th, 2028. So, and that's going to be more of like I wouldn't say an origin story, but it's going to tell the tale of the two Robins and their experiences. So I find it kind of interesting that we have these movies greenlit, and James Gunn has been very adamant. I believe we talked about this that nothing is going to get greenlit, nothing is going to get the official okay unless there's like a script or a story or something that they already have solidified. That's what he said. This is also what he said. James Gunn says there has not been a first draft of the script for the Batman 2 yet. But didn't he just say nothing will be greenlit? But he okay. All right. Okay. I mean, listen, I would green light whatever Matt Reeves wants to do too. I'm just saying, I don't really know why you would go out there and talk about you're not gonna green light nothing unless the script is there, y'all got the story that you like. But then Batman 2 ain't even got a first draft yet. Not a final draft, a first draft. Okay. I mean, listen, if this is how you want to run your studio, whatever. Like I'm here for it either way. But you guys let me know. How do you feel about these DCU updates? How do you feel about a Clayface movie? What do you think about it? Is this something that you are interested in? Personally, I like Mike Flanagan, so I will be checking for this. This is something I definitely am interested in. But whatever you guys think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Kat, what you got? What are your updates on the Mission Impossible Final Reckon? Nothing yet. Just that they're shooting. That's about it. But as the updates come, I'll share them. But yeah, nothing nothing significant as of yet. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Excuse me. We got some updates here on Deadpool's future. So Deadpool and Wolverine obviously came through, definitely shattered some box office numbers, well over $1 billion, and probably one of the best comic book movies. I mean, it's not saying much, but easily the best comic book movie of the year. But the question is kind of like, okay, well, what happens with Deadpool now? Okay, now you got Deadpool. He's in the MCU officially after being in Fox. He's in a different timeline. He's not in the 616. And he's chilling. So what do you do with them now? So Ryan Reynolds did comment on this about where he sees the character, where what is going to happen with his future. And he was talking with another not Toby Maguire. He's talking to Andrew Garfield on Actors on Actors, and he said that he sees Deadpool more as a supporting character. So if he comes back, it's going to be in someone else's movie. Ugh, Channing Tatum. He said he would happily be a fifth banana in his movie or anyone else's. So it's interesting, right? I mean, I'm kind of with him on this, and I'm well, actually, let me read the other thing, because he did go into a little bit more about what he expects with Deadpool, and he says Deadpool won't be a part of the Avengers or X-Men, but he can appear in their films. He always needs to stay an outsider. His ultimate dream is to be accepted and appreciated, but he can't be accepted. So the way I look at this is, I think I agree with him, except for the Channing Tatum thing. We do not need a Channing Tatum Gambit movie. Please stop. Y'all be doing this kind of stuff, running with it. Hey, we had a good laugh. It was funny. Ooh, I'm gonna make a name for myself out here. Okay, that was funny. Okay, I don't need a movie of him like that. I don't. Just because something was funny in a small moment does not mean you need to blow it up into a whole film. We don't need that. Okay. If you want to bring Channing Tatum in for Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars, have a little quick cameo, that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. We don't need a full movie. So, but does Deadpool, because Deadpool's had successful movies. This is his third film. Every film he's made a lot of money. Now, I think I agree with Ryan Reynolds. I don't see where and how Deadpool would need another movie. I don't think he needs another movie. First thing was, obviously, you needed an origin film. Cool. Second thing, you wanted to continue the love story and all of that. All right, cool. Third thing, he always wanted to meet Wolverine, and we teased that and all that stuff, and he saved his universe. I think that's it. That's the cap for Deadpool. What more do you need him to do? So, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with them not doing much. I think Deadpool will be hilarious if he just randomly pops up in places. If he could, I don't want to say it exactly like this, but if he were the new Stan Lee, right, where he just happens to pop up in every single movie just to give a laugh, I think that'll be great. I think that'll be fantastic. If you want to bring him in kind of like how Loki was, that would probably be the most you can do. I don't think he needs to be, kind of like how Loki was in Thor Ragnarok. Like, you could kind of bring him in like that. But no, I think I agree with Ryan Reynolds. He does not need a full movie. Just let him be comic relief. And that's okay. That's okay. But you guys let me know. I mean, is this something that you would want? Do you want Deadpool to be in another movie and lead a movie? Or do you think that he should just be a supporting character moving on? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Reagan, what you got? Bruh, you got me hooked on From. Excellent. Started on Monday. Now I'm on season 1, episode 10. Yikes. The mystery of the story and the social dynamics of the group are interesting. So, first of all, I hope you're watching all of my breakdowns per episode, because I made those breakdowns for both people, for people that are new, and even when you get done watching all the other seasons, go back and rewatch those breakdowns for the end, because I add some spoilery stuff for the people that have already watched. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. But I'm so happy to hear that you're starting. This kind of gives me the feeling of, and I think a lot of us can relate to this, when you got a friend out there that is watching Game of Thrones for the first time, and you just like, what episode you on? Who's your favorite character? And you just want to kind of relive everything through that person. So I am very excited for your journey in From. I hope that you have a good time with it. Yeah, hey, enjoy yourself. Have fun. Man, that's gonna be good. That's good stuff. I'm a little jealous. All right. We have I think we should talk about this because this just came out and it is the sequel. So 28 years later has finally dropped the trailer, and we are now going to finally see what happens after 28 days, 28 weeks, 28. Did they do a 28 months? I don't know if they did. I don't think they did, but I don't know. Whatever. Either way, 28 years is going to be something I definitely want to see, because one of the greatest openings of a film to me was in 28 weeks later in the second movie. That opening scene with the wife and the husband. Oh my God. I have never seen anything realer in my life in a film than that opening scene. That right there was everything. I loved it. And that's what made me a real fan of the series. So I am very, very excited, and I'm very anxious to see what happens. Now, the thing is, I was traveling while this trailer came out, so I haven't had the chance to see the trailer yet. So if y'all have seen it, don't spoil it for me. But I did want to watch the trailer with y'all, and I want to see what happens. Now, here's the thing. I know some of y'all some scaredy cats around here. I don't know what's in this trailer. If it's scary, I can't help you. I don't know what's in this. So if y'all need to take a little break or something, maybe go ahead. But I want to see this because this is my kind of movie. So let's get ready. All right, let's get this loaded up here. All right, I am very, very curious. Okay. Okay. Oh, I see. Hey, walk away. Latrice, go on now. Go on now. I don't want to be responsible. You man, I can't sleep because I'm sorry. I need to watch this. All right, here we go.
7, 6, 11, 5, 4, 17, 32 the day before.
This come out June 20. Listen. First of all, 2026 is about to be, 2025 is about to be lit. 2025 is about to be crazy lit with all these movies that are coming out. I cannot wait. Yes, first of all. I don't know about that soundtrack or what was that on the radio or whoever was talking? That was kind of creepy. I do like the fact that it's Aaron Taylor Johnson. We will talk about him later. But first of all, listen. Ever since Dawn of the Dead, if you give me running fast zombies, I'm in. Do y'all know how terrifying fast running zombies are? First of all, I'm fat. Second of all, I haven't run full speed in probably over a decade. I've had 2 knee surgeries. I can't outrun no zombie. If a zombie comes, I'm done. It's a wrap. So this is tapping directly into my central fear that I will not be able to run for my life. Listen, if you got some power walking zombies, okay, now we can talk. But running zombies, full sprint, and they don't stop, your boy is done. It's a wrap. So that right there is enough for me to really be like, I'm down for this. Okay, I liked World War Z. I like Dawn of the Dead. I like the other 28 Days and Weeks Later. So I'm totally in for this. And again, I do like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think that he will do a solid job. I like him as an actor. So yeah, and here's the thing. I don't need to know what the plot is. I don't care. I don't care. I'm here for it. So y'all let me know, how did you feel about this 28 years later trailer? Did this convince you to watch it? Are you in? Are you down? Maybe you're turned off. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. There was another trailer that somebody told me I need to watch, so I'm going to put this one up. So I saw there was something called the Gorge. I don't know what this is about. I don't know if this is scary or not. So y'all just gonna have to, I don't know. But somebody told me to watch the Gorge. I think it has Miles Teller in it. Let's see. Yeah, it's got Miles Teller in it and the other Furiosa chick, Anna Taylor-Joy. I do not know what this is about. But I see here it's gonna be on Apple TV, so I guess it's a TV show, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a TV show, whatever. But I don't know what this is. They just told me to just play it, watch it. So all right, here we go. Oh, wait, hold on. Because I don't want nobody complain. You didn't do it right. Okay, now we can begin.
Gorge. Trailer starts now.
Okay.
I have new orders that require me to go dark for at least a year, maybe more. A special assignment in an undisclosed location.
Oh, so it is a movie. Okay.
As an elite sniper, are you presently under any private or military contract?
No, there's not a lot of reasons for me right now.
What if I gave you a reason?
Courtney in there?
There she is. West Tower Observation Post. Your home for the next 365 days. There is no outside communication here.
What's that on the other side?
That is East Tower. Contact with the other side is strictly forbidden.
So what's the mission? To keep people from going in the gorge?
No. You need to stop what's in the gorge from coming out.
Oh.
What the hell is that?
The gorge is the door to hell,
Okay.
and we're standing guard at the gate.
They're gonna fall in love. Oh, they're gonna fall in love. Of course. Man, if there's a romantic comedy, I don't want to.
What's the truth about this place? What's the truth about the gorge?
Oh! The hell shit? This is what happens when you try and get the movie. Now why keep trying? Okay. All right.
This place is evil.
When does this come out? February. Oh, okay. Listen, February 14th. Listen, I'm telling y'all, 2025, all them things that got delayed because of the strikes and all that, they saved the fire for 2025. I'm watching this. I'm down for this. Like, I don't know what's down there. I don't know what's going on. They almost lost me with the whole romantic comedy, the romance stuff. But now I'm interested because I need to know what's down there. See, this is how you give an effective trailer. Okay. You have your little stars, whatever. You have some sort of mystery. You don't show too much because all we saw was a hand or something weird. And then you show some trauma, tension, whatever. That's it. I don't need to see nothing else. I don't need to read nothing else. I don't want to see no clips. I don't want to see no leaks. This is how you get me to watch your movies. Don't release no more trailers, Apple. Don't show nothing else. This is it. We're good. I'm sold. I'm sold. Y'all let me know. What do you think about the Gorge? How do you feel about it? Is this something that's got your attention? Will you go check it out? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Stamina, what you mean no romance? You saw them writing them love letters. They was writing the love letters and stuff and shooting at each other. That ain't romantic. What do I know? All right. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. 28 Days Later is not available on any streaming services or streaming platforms. They do have the Blu-ray and DVD versions. They're out of print and can only be bought secondhand. Yikes. Well, I'm not going to promote nothing, but I'll just say I'm sure there are other ways to find this movie. I'm sure there are. But y'all, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, snaps. Y'all, she's here. She is here. Look at that. She came in here past her bedtime and everything. Sun done went down, and she still says she gonna come and grace us with her presence. Hello to Mrs. E, man. Look at her, the queen. The queen is in the building. Shout out to her for sure. Let's see, what else do I have? Nope, we already talked about that. Let's talk about Spike Lee's movie. So we talked about Spike Lee's movie. I believe it's called High to Low. It was based off of some Asian film about some businessman and his son gets kidnapped, but it was the wrong son that gets kidnapped, and da 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 da. I didn't watch the original, so I don't know. But we did know that who was cast in the movie. We found out that Jeffrey Wright, fantastic actor, was cast, but also Denzel Washington. So having Spike Lee and Denzel Washington pair up again was fantastic news. Automatic, right? Like, do you need to even tell me anything else? I'm here for this. However, we also found out Ice Spice was going to be in this movie. Now, that wasn't a deal breaker. Maybe Ice Spice has a very minor role. Maybe she just says 3 words. Don't know. But I would have to trust Spike that whatever he gives to her, he'll be able to manage it, right? Like I highly doubt Spike would allow Ice Spice to get on screen and give a bad performance. Like, I'm sure he would find a way to make it work. So that was my only concern. However, we also just found out that Denzel, who I thought was the main actor, apparently might not actually be the main actor of this, or the main character of this movie. He's not going to be the main actor. But guess who the new main lead is? I didn't see this coming. But apparently it is another rapper, A$AP Rocky. Yes, that is correct. A$AP Rocky is making moves with his film career. The rapper is starring in Highest to Lowest. That's what the movie's going to be called. It says here that A$AP Rocky's casting, it was actually rumored after set photos circulated of him in character as young felon. I don't know if it's felon or felon. An individual with knowledge of the project has now confirmed to IndieWire that A$AP Rocky will have a leading role in the feature. Now, of course, we already know that Denzel and Spike, they've had the 5 movies. This is going to be their 5th film together. But yeah, this is definitely going to be interesting. It says A$AP Rocky, whose real name is Rakeem Mayers, made his acting debut in 2015 in the coming of age film Dope, which was dope. I really like Dope. He went on to appear in Zoolander 2 and more, including a short film with Rihanna. So I guess he's had a little bit of acting experience. I don't even remember him in Dope. That's the thing. I have to kind of go back and go watch him again. Maybe he's okay. I don't know. It says here it's unclear how his role as young felon in Highest to Lowest relates to the original Kurosawa plot. Spike Lee did note that A$AP Rocky will have the main role in the feature. Spike Lee went on to say this is not a remake. This is a reinterpretation of Akira Kurosawa's great film. In Kurosawa's film, Toshiro Mifune is a shoemaker. In our film, Denzel Washington is a music mogul with his own label and his reputation as the best ears in the business. Okay. Listen. Spike Lee has a long track record. I think the only movie that I can recall him not hitting exactly the mark cinematically was Chirac. It was a controversial film. It came out at a very unique time. But that was one film I was kind of like, Spike, you sure about this? But given his track record, given the fact that Jeffrey Wright is in this, Denzel Washington is in this, I have to give it some trust. To give A$AP Rocky the main role, main feature role, I'm really going to have to trust that Spike saw something in him that he clearly didn't see in any other already trained actors, that A$AP Rocky had to be the pick. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna need a trailer. But for now, I'm gonna trust Denzel. I'm gonna trust his wisdom on this. And we'll see. Speaking of but y'all let me know. How do you feel about Spike Lee casting A$AP Rocky as his main lead in his movie? Again, you'll have Denzel, you'll have Jeffrey Wright, and Ice Spice. Are you nervous about this film? Are you excited about this? Maybe you'll like it. I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Quiet one. What you got? I agree. Deadpool would be a good, beloved, random cameo addition, like Stan Lee. Would you like to see Deadpool play a part in Doomsday or Secret Wars, or not needed? So I think he's already playing a part in Doomsday or Secret Wars, because remember, why is Thor crying? So I think that they already have that baked into the script somewhere. So I think we're already going to get that, because that's still a lingering question we got to find out, right? I do think that Deadpool probably does something like he jumps in, and after being rejected by the heroes or by the Avengers, he finally does something really heroic that makes Thor cry. And I think that's why Thor, cries. Probably because Thor was maybe even the main person saying, no, he can't be an Avenger, forget this guy. And then he comes in. So yeah, I mean, supporting character, fine by me. As in Doomsday or Secret Wars, first of all, do y'all want $2 billion? If you want $2 billion at this point, just throw everybody in. All of them. So sure, why not? Cat back at it. What's up with all the werewolf movies coming out? Man, Hollywood does this every once in a blue moon. Hollywood will, for whatever reason, maybe they'll see one or two things that really popped off and they got inspired, and multiple things get greenlit at the same time. Let's not forget, we had a whole time when it was nothing but vampires, right? It was vampires everywhere. And then of course we went through our whole fantasy epic. Once Lord of the Rings came out, you started having Game of Thrones come out. Like, it's a lot of stuff that gets greenlit around the same time. I remember what was it? Scream. When Scream came out, you also had I Know What You Did Last Summer come out. Like, the slashers started to come out. So I think that this is just another wave of similar things just coming out around the same time. That's all. Let's see. So we just got done talking about Denzel. Might as well keep on talking about Denzel. So yes, Denzel Washington has, as we talked about before, he was retiring, but then he said he wasn't really retiring, but then he had like a couple of movies coming out, and then he was like, nah, not really. I'm actually gonna do some more stuff. And then we just talked about last week how He's going to star in Equalizer again. Yes, not just Equalizer 4, but also Equalizer 5. I don't know when this man is going to retire. With the amount of things that he has said he's doing, he didn't even mention the Spike Lee movie Highest to Lowest. He didn't even mention that in his list of things that were going to be his final projects. But clearly Denzel's going to keep on working. I don't even know why he talked about retiring. Matter of fact, to that Spike Lee film, he did say this about it. He said in reuniting with Spike Lee, he said that Spike is cooking up something special. I'll be watching the cut soon. He's a visionary. I trust him completely. Yeah, well, if Denzel trusts him, I gotta kind of sort of trust him as well. But that is not what we're here to talk about, because we have to talk about why is Denzel apologizing. Well, along with all his announcements of retiring and all that, my man spilled the beans. Okay, he came out there and started talking a little too much about what was going on when he announced that Ryan Coogler, the director of the Black Panther franchise, that Ryan Coogler had something cooking up for him too. So Denzel had to speak on that, you know. It says here Ryan Coogler on still unconfirmed Black Panther 3 movie. While he remains tight-lipped about the project, now he tight-lipped, Denzel shared his admiration for Coogler. Denzel said, Ryan's a genius. I called him and apologized for talking about the movie, and right there sitting with him was his beautiful wife. He's still Ryan, humble and full of ideas. Whatever he writes, I'll read. All right. So I think that this was needed because let's not forget, listen, as much as we love Denzel, ain't nobody above, you know, contract negotiations and stuff. Like, I'm just saying it probably was in Ryan Coogler's contract NDA, which is probably the case with most actors and directors and writers. They cannot talk about things publicly until they at least have been officially announced. Now, we all know that Black Panther was one of Marvel's greatest accomplishments, especially for a character and as a film. We already know what happened with Black Panther 2, the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman and all of that didn't really pan out as well. But nobody would sit here and believe that, given the success of the first film, the bit of a misstep with the second film, that a third film was not going to happen. We all knew that a third film was going to happen. The question was really going to be, what y'all going to do in this third film? Because as many of us have talked about, especially on this channel, what's up with T'Challa? Okay. But I don't think any of us had it on our bingo cards that Black Panther 3 would have Denzel Washington involved. Now, from what it sounds like, I don't think that this is 100% official. And I'm not talking about the movie being greenlit. Clearly, the movie's going to happen. But Denzel said that Ryan was writing a part for him. That was it. And then Denzel, after apologizing, he did say that whatever Ryan writes, I'll read it. He didn't say I signed on a dotted line. He didn't say that I will absolutely do this. He just said Ryan Coogler is writing a part for me in Black Panther, Black Panther 3. So all I'm saying is I think that there's some room that this might not pan out. I think that's a very slim chance, because if I'm Marvel, why the hell would I not include Denzel in my movie when, one, y'all need all the help that you can get to revive Black Panther in the confidence, and two, it's Denzel. Denzel carried Gladiator 2, which was a very middling movie. So yeah, like, make this happen. But yeah, I totally understand him apologizing, you know, because this is not what Kevin Feige wanted. Okay, Kevin Feige did not want anybody to know about Black Panther 3. Now, the good news is that this did not come from Marvel. If this came from Marvel, and they announced it, but nothing had even been finished. Nothing that we would have been in Blade 2.0, but we are not there. So I appreciate the fact that Mr. Washington did go ahead and apologize to Coogler, because you never know. Maybe he violated something. Maybe he, I mean, I doubt Marvel will punish Coogler or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if, some contractual line or something maybe cost him a couple dollars. Who knows? Anyway, what do you guys think about this apology from Denzel? How do you feel about it? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Natalie, what you got? Free Unc. He didn't mean it. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, if anything, this just gave a little bit more attention to it. So I don't think it's a big deal. All right, moving on. Oh, we gonna keep talking about the MCU. So Captain America 4, y'all other movie. It's coming out in February, and as we know, this is going to star Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson playing Captain America. But in addition to that, the legendary Harrison Ford has stepped into the role of General Thunderbolt Ross, who now is president. And as many of you know, the role of Thunderbolt Ross was previously played by the late William Hurt. Now, William Hurt played Thunderbolt Ross for multiple years in the MCU, but he tragically passed away. I believe it was from cancer. Yeah, out of nowhere, we heard the rumors, and then it was official. Harrison Ford stepped in, and they recast William Hurt. So, this, of course, brought up some questions by me and others. Like, yo, is this a double standard? What's going on? Because y'all sat here and said all this stuff. Well, let me not say Marvel, but the sentiment out there was that it was disrespectful to recast anyone after the passing of Chadwick Boseman. It was going to ruin his legacy if somebody else stepped into the role. No one could do the role besides Chadwick. You heard all the excuses for Chadwick. But when it came to William Hurt, who, by the way, yes, he was a supporting character, but he also was gaining momentum in becoming the Red Hulk, which I'm pretty sure the Red Hulk is going to be a factor down the road. Haven't heard one peep about a ruined legacy. Not one peep of disrespect. Not one peep of only William Hurt could play this role. I haven't heard none of it. So again, is there a double standard here? Don't know, but that's a conversation for another day. Actually, no, it's not, because I made a whole video about it. Go check that out. But we have here Harrison Ford talking about taking on this role after the passing of William Hurt. So he actually commented on the issue of being recast in this. And I thought this was fascinating, and I think we should talk about it. It says here, for Harrison Ford, stepping into the shoes of the late, great William Hurt to continue Thunderbolt Ross' Marvel story was a big deal. He said here, I was a little concerned about taking over from Bill Hurt, who was a wonderful actor. He said, I was ambitious to find the right way of assuming this character after the audience had seen other people doing it. Other people doing it. I'm only slightly familiar with the Marvel universe. I live in another universe, but I have watched a number of Marvel films with wonderful actors apparently having a good time. And I thought, well, why not me? Then the director, Julius Ona, he attests that Marvel's new Thunderbolt Ross was more than up to the job of honoring Hurt's performance. All of us on set were like, expletive, he nailed it. So, interesting. So, which I think is legitimate. Harrison Ford was a little weary. He had a little trepidation about stepping into the role. Guess what? I've talked to other actors, and when I would mention, man, I'd really think you'd be great as a T'Challa or whatever, some of them would be like, man, I don't know, and I get it. I get it. So that makes some sense. By the way, I've also talked to other actors that were like, hell yeah, I'd step in and play the role of T'Challa, right? Because they understand it's a role. It's not going to do anything. But what I thought was interesting in this commentary was the fact that not only did he have this concern, but that concern went away real fast when he was looking at look at all them other people having fun over there. You're like, man, I don't know, man. I don't want to. Oh, Bill Hurt did a good job. Oh, I like that MCU fun over there. I want to play. Them concerns went right out the window. Then what's even more interesting was the director of the movie, as they watching Harrison Ford, they sat, hold on, I want to get that right back, because I think there's more to this than y'all might realize. He said that he was more than up to the job of honoring Hurt's performance. That to me is very telling. Because when you sit, and this is something that this is one of the reasons why I fought so hard with the Recast T'Challa campaign. It was not just because I'm a comic fan and I want to see my characters on screen and I just want my way. No. For those people out there that don't understand what I was talking about, that was the lowest on the totem pole of reasons for Recast T'Challa. The one top reason on the very pinnacle of the list was about Black representation on screen. And what I noticed in the conversations was that it was only disrespectful. It was all these imaginary hurdles, all these imaginary challenges, all these false, these myths only started to arise when we started talking about a Black actor and a Black character. Meanwhile, every single fictional white character and actor has recast, stepped in, and honored the legacy and all of that. It's never been a problem for white actors to step into historic roles and to keep going. It's never been a problem. But when it's a Black character with a Black actor, now we have to come up with this weird expectation and this weird exception to the rule. Meanwhile, ignoring the benefit of what happens with recasting. And as I've told y'all before, the number one way to stop a legend or to kill a legend is to stop telling their story. So, let me put it a different way. One of the ways you can tell something or someone, one of the ways you can tell if an action is racist is to look at the after effect. You have to look at the product of the action or the law or whatever it is. If the action disproportionately affects a certain group of people, it's racist, right? If you pass a law and you say, hey, nobody can do this or nobody can do that, and there's only one group that specifically gets affected a lot, rather than it being proportioned to everyone equally, that's how you know that was a racist law. Well, guess what? When you sit here, and this is not just isolated to white people or Black, this is for anybody, okay? This is an ideology. If you sit here and carry the mentality that this Black character and this Black actor, nobody can touch them, no one can recast, no one can step into that role, what's the after effect of that? What's the product of that decision? Well, that character dies. That story stops. No one keeps talking about them. And we know in the entertainment world, when people stop talking about you, when you are no longer relevant, you're done. There is no, well, we're going to hang the jersey in the rafters. That doesn't exist. How many jerseys are hung up for Superman? Superman is still on the court. How many jerseys are in the rafters for James Bond? They still on the court. How many jerseys are hung up for Batman? They're still on the court. That jersey is still getting put on by other actors and they're still playing. That's the point. T'Challa, yes, I get it. They gave him some child whatever, but I'm talking about the ideology behind the recast movement. We want the story to continue. And all these fake news type of arguments don't hold up. Because again, look at the stark difference in the fact that nobody can do it like Chadwick. Oh, it would be disrespectful. Oh, it would ruin his legacy. Meanwhile, when it comes to the white actor, great actor on Harrison Ford, by the way, but when it comes to him, what do they say? Thaddeus Ross was more than up to the job of honoring Hurt's performance. Honoring his performance. So it's dishonoring if a black actor were to step in for T'Challa, but it's honoring if a white actor steps in and plays Thaddeus Ross. Do y'all see the problem here? Do y'all understand? Do you understand the mental gymnastics you're going to have to go through to try and be like, well, T'Challa was a bigger character and he was just more important. What was the excuse for all them other white characters then that were bigger, I would say, than T'Challa? What was Superman's excuse? What was Spider-Man's excuse? What was Batman's excuse? What was James Bond's excuse? What were those excuses for characters that were bigger and still got recast? Whose honor got disrespected? Whose legacy got ruined? None of them. So I just wanted to point this out, that this inconsistency, this golly, I mean, I wouldn't even call it ironic. It's straight up nonsense. Okay. Keep the same energy that Harrison Ford had with Thunderbolt Ross, that white fictional characters get. Keep that same legacy with black characters, because the same way that those white characters and the actors too, by the way, the same way they are popular, they're only popular because of recasting. Y'all think, first of all, Harrison Ford, my man is a little old. He's in his 80s. Okay. He's not going to be Thaddeus Ross forever. He's not going to play General Ross forever. Y'all really think that he's going to be the last one to play Red Hulk? Red Hulk probably going to be around for another 10, 20 years. You don't think they're going to recast him? You don't think it's going to be an honor to step into the shoes that Bill Hurt and Harrison Ford had for the next actor? Stop it. Anyway, y'all get the point. It's ridiculous. But I am glad that, the more this stuff comes out, the more people can see a lot of the hypocrisy, the irony, and just the double standard nonsense of the issue of not wanting to recast someone. I understand you don't have to recast at a certain time. We've been through these arguments. That was never my position anyway. But dismantling these made up obstacles and challenges or whatever that y'all just came up with just because it happened to be a black actor, y'all just not y'all, but a lot of people miss the bigger picture in terms of representation on screen. But anyway, y'all let me know, what did you think about Harrison Ford's comments? What did you think about the director's comments? How do you feel about him stepping into the role of Red Hulk? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. How many topics we got left? We got 2 more topics. We're going to talk about the MCU. We got some MCU updates, and then we got to talk about Kraven. We'll talk about Kraven. All right. So we have some Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday updates. So I'm sure you guys have heard some of the news already, but we'll go over some of it all already. Biggest news, in the past was Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. All right, big surprise. We knew that, we heard it at Comic-Con. It blew up the internet. Big news. But that just opened up a can of worms. Well, if Robert Downey Jr. can come back, anybody can come back. So, of course, throughout the week, we got a whole bunch of news of all these other people that were coming back. One of them was Benedict Cumberbatch, of course, Doctor Strange himself. He did confirm himself that he is returning for Avengers Doomsday. He said, I'm really excited not only to work with the Russo brothers again, but to have Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doom. I think there's going to be some really cool developments ahead, of course. I really like Benedict. He's a really, really good actor. Really enjoy him. But let's be honest, like, bro, outside of Sherlock, which I like that show, Sherlock, this your bread and butter. So yeah, you want to come back, right? But that wasn't the big news. That wasn't the news that broke, well, I wouldn't say it broke the internet, but besides Doctor Strange coming back, y'all would not be the same. Avengers, the second they said Robert Downey was coming back, ain't no way y'all was going to keep this man away, because what else is he doing? Chris Evans is also confirmed to come back in Avengers Doomsday. It says here, let's see, Evans will be involved in some capacity, but the extent of the nature of the role is unknown. But the fact that he is coming back, I mean, listen, how many of y'all are shocked? Like, I'm not shocked. Like, the only thing I don't like about this is actually, it's a couple things. One, why did y'all have to announce this? Now, Marvel didn't announce this. This was a scooper. It was on the wrap. I told you I don't like these leaks. I don't think they're needed. Now, does this make or break the movie? No. This is not like leaking Wesley Snipes being in Deadpool. That to me was a bigger problem of don't ruin that. But the other thing is, I hate the timing about this. Why would y'all release this? And y'all haven't even let Sam Wilson have his movie yet. So now what's messed up about this is people gonna be sitting here, like, okay, whatever happens in Cap 4, I don't care, because Chris Evans is coming back. Like, so I think this does a disservice to the Captain America 4 movie that's coming out, because, hey, he's coming back. Now, to be fair, we don't know exactly how he's coming back. I see people talking about evil Cap, Hydra Cap. I'd be cool with that. You also could have him coming back as Johnny Storm, right? Like, you could totally do a Johnny Storm thing again, like they did in Deadpool, where he's just a variant, right? So who knows? Maybe that's what he does. But there is a rumor, and this is from Jeff Snyder, so he's had a pretty decent track record. He was hearing exactly who Cap would come back as, and that was none other than Nomad. He believes that Nomad is going to be the character. Now, I highly doubt Nomad is going to be dressed up looking like that. But this does make a little bit of sense, because Nomad, well, honestly, he was damn near Nomad back in Avengers Infinity War. He was pretty much that. Nomad is basically Captain America when he had a falling out with the U.S. government. He didn't trust the government, and he was just like, man, take y'all star. I'm not going to be y'all puppet no more. And he just basically went out on his own. That was Nomad for the most part. So it would make sense that after the events of Avengers Endgame, maybe he's on the moon. But maybe, he's just out there, because he's still a super soldier. Just because he's old doesn't mean he's not super soldiering. Maybe he's just out there doing his own thing, so that's whatever. If that's what he's going to do, that's what he's going to be. That's fine. But that's not all. Of course, like I said, if you're going to have Chris Evans come back, everybody going to want to come back. And listen, ain't no way you going to have Cap be out there in them streets and not have his boo thing on the right-hand side. And that's right. Haley Atwell, aka Peggy Carter is expected to reprise her role in the film. Little tidbit here, they said in 2021, Marvel and Chris Evans were discussing a return in some form to the MCU, and the belief was that Atwell was also part of that plan to potentially return for a standalone movie. A story for that film could not get nailed down, but in recent months, both sides saw the new Avengers movie as the best way to bring her back. First of all, I'm never going to have a problem when y'all want to bring Haley Atwell back. That's fine. She does a great version of Captain Carter. So to me, I think that they're just going to want to set up a moment. The Russo brothers, they've dealt with Cap for most of his movies except for the first one. And it would only make sense that after they left Peggy and Captain America, kind of like, and Steve Rogers, after they left them in that alternate universe and all that, I think similar to what we saw in What If season 2, when they did that weird episode in the 1600s or whatever, the way that Peggy and Steve are constantly meant to be together, but really can't be together. I'm not going to be surprised if that's what they're going to do here. If we're going to be in Avengers Doomsday and you see Captain Carter fighting against Dr. Doom, she throws a shield, it bounces off. Captain Carter, or maybe it's the other way around. Steve throws the shield, it bounces off. Captain Carter catches it. They look at each other. They be like, "Dang, you fine." They be like, "Dang, no, you fine. You want to dance after this?" Like I could see something like that happening. So that will be interesting to see how they go about that. But of course, she's gonna come back. If Chris Evans is gonna come back, but even with all this, and as I mentioned before, right before my man even got a movie, well, it is confirmed that y'all boy Anthony Mackie will officially return as Captain America for Avengers Doomsday, which also stars Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. So that might, I don't know, how awkward is that going to be? Y'all going to have 3 captains? Why not? Go for it. Have 3 captains. Maybe y'all lead different teams. But yeah, it looks like here that you will be getting another Captain America in the movie, and that is going to be Anthony Mackie. So what do you guys think about Chris Evans making a comeback to the MCU, even though he's already came back as Johnny Storm in Deadpool? But how do you feel about him coming back in Doomsday? Again, I feel like this is a no-brainer. Marvel's already in like the throw everything at the wall, let's just see what sticks. I would not be surprised if Scarlett Johansson comes back. Just bring everybody back. Just bring everybody back. Why not? Should not hurt. But y'all let me know what you think. Does this make you more excited for Doomsday? Does this make you kind of cringe a little bit? I don't know. Whatever you think, put it in the comments down below. All right, let's get to this. Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter has been, it's the latest edition in the Sony Marvel Spider-Man universe, whatever they want to call it now. We have to talk about it. So let's kind of do a quick intro about what Kraven is. Kraven's complex relationship with his ruthless father starts him down a path of vengeance and brutal consequences, motivating him to become not only the greatest hunter in the world, but also one of its most feared. Okay. So, in true fashion, I'm gonna start off with what's good in the movie. Let me first start off by saying that I really thought that Aaron Taylor Johnson, he does a very good job with action. Like he's, obviously, I mean, y'all seen it. You see the abs, like the man's in shape. I think he's a fantastic actor. And yeah, the one thing that they really, really do well in this movie is the violence. And he is extremely violent. You've seen it in the trailers, you've seen it, in the advertisements. The one thing Kraven is gonna do is get violent with folks. I did think that the fight scenes, for the most part, were entertaining. I thought that the violence was gruesome enough. That's it. That's it. So let's talk about the bad. Oh, how much time do we have? Okay. Probably the worst thing with this entire film is going to be the writing. The dialogue in this movie is so remedial. It is so basic. It is so bad. I couldn't stop from cringing every time people talked. And let me give you an example of what I mean by bad writing, because I need people to understand that I'm not talking about, oh, this is some Oscar award winning type of thing. No. It's a superhero film. I don't expect that. The bar is already low. Okay. When you have, y'all tell me this. When you're talking to someone, let's just say, because there's a scene in this movie right in the beginning with the grandmother and Calypso. So she's talking to her granddaughter. Y'all tell me what you think about this scene. I'm just going to reenact it for you. Calypso, my granddaughter, I love you so much, Calypso. Calypso, this is something very important to our family, Calypso. Calypso, I want you to hold on to this thing that is so important, Calypso. I love you, Calypso. Bye, Calypso. Scene. No one talks like that. Not one of y'all talk like that. I don't know what family member y'all talk to where y'all actually acknowledge them. For those of y'all that got brothers, do y'all be like, brother, can you please pass me the butter? Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, brother. For those of y'all that got kids, hi, son. How was your day, son? Son, what do you think about the day today? No one talks like that. This is bad writing. And that's just the dialogue. That's terrible. Then you have the actual story. The story doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. They gave us, you know what? No, we're going to talk about it. I am so bothered by the origin story that they gave to him. Now, here's the reason why I'm saying this. I do not expect these things to be 100% comic accurate. I'm not that guy. I'm not that critic that's like, oh, it's not comic accurate. That's not the way it happened in the comics. That's not me. I'm okay if you want to do something a little different. I'm cool with that. What I'm not okay with is the fact that y'all sat here and intentionally made other things comic accurate, but you decided to go do some wild stuff with Kraven's origin. So this character, you gonna be like, oh yeah, they did that thing, and that was comic accurate. All right, cool. But then with Kraven, and I'll tell you the comic origin. The comic origin is you would have Kraven. He's a big game hunter. He travels all across the world to find the next big challenge, the next big prey, and he goes to Africa. While he's in Africa, again, I'm talking about the comic, at a origin story. While he's in Africa, he steals a super secret potion from some African witch doctors. He drinks it and it basically enhances his senses. He gets stronger, faster, gets more instincts, etc. Now, understand the comic-centric origin of him. He was a full-on colonizer, okay? White Russian guy, straight from the Caucasus, came down to the motherland, stole their secrets, and went off and started using that to go hunt other people. He even tried to hunt the King T'Challa. Didn't work, but that's in the comics. But in this movie, y'all went out of your way, and I'm not going to spoil it. This is spoiler-free version. Y'all went out of your way to damn near make him a white Black Panther. Y'all gave him the strength of the lions. I was sitting here like, what the are you serious? That's why I said in my reaction, like, listen, all them people, what if they made Black Panther white? Well, there you go. It's Kraven. Every time I see a white person online talk about, why don't you make Black Panther white? I'm going to be like, here's Kraven. Shut up. Every time I see y'all talk about that nonsense, that stupid nonsense, I'm gonna just post a picture of Kraven so y'all can shut up. Because that's what this movie just did. It just showed you what a white Black Panther would look like. They done stole that origin. They done twisted it up. I'm not gonna spoil it. I should. But they done, boy, listen, you know what? I'm gonna give a quick shout out real quick. Y'all make sure y'all go watch Just My Opinion reviews. I sat down with the brother. We just did the spoiler review of that. I went into detail with it. You will see why I'm even more upset about it. Go watch his spoiler review, Just My Opinion reviews. I believe it's posting tomorrow, so y'all can go see in more detail. I'm trying to keep the spoiler free. Anyway, all I know is while I was watching this movie, I was like, two white guys wrote this. I don't even know. I didn't even know who wrote it. I don't know who directed. I was like, two white people wrote this. Had to. Because there's no way you could sit here in the movie industry, in the comic book superhero industry, and to sit here and know what Black Panther did and basically copy from their homework and put that in your movie and act like nobody was going to notice. I noticed. Anyway, the writing is terrible. The dialogue is atrocious. The VFX, not very good. Now, I will say there was one exception. I didn't mind Rhino. Rhino, I thought, looked as good as Rhino could be. I need y'all to understand Rhino is already a ridiculous character. In the comics, to the cartoons, to the video games, it's just a big swole dude in a rhino costume. So I already do not have high expectations for what Rhino is supposed to look like. So the way that they showed him, whatever, but the rest of the VFX, terrible. Terrible. Like, did I say that there was bad writing? Why is this man glamoring animals? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what, like, the movie never explained it. All he does is have staring contests with animals, and I'm like, what? Are you like the land version of Aquaman? Like, you talking to the animals just because y'all, like, look at each other? Like, what are you doing? Never explained. They just put it in there, and we supposed to just go with it. Bad writing is insulting to your intelligence as a viewer. And this is why I tell y'all to call it out when it happens. Don't let these studios slide with this. The acting was not good. And the acting, I don't think was the fault of the actors. The acting, I think, was the fault of the bad writing and the director. Because as a director, you're supposed to sit here and be like, hey, stop. That's whack. But if you're a bad director, clearly you're not going to know how to say cut, stop, do it again, or help them make the best of it. Acting, terrible. 2 let's just go to the reason. I don't really want to continue with this. He was terrible too. Look, Kraven the Hunter, it's a violent, action-packed mess that, just like my Chicago Bears, found a new creative way to miss the mark. I don't know why this movie was made. I felt bad for the actors that had to participate because this was an automatic L for them. It's very difficult to recommend this movie. When it comes to the rating for Kraven, I think I have to give it a 5 out of 10, and I might be generous. on that. So this, of course, brings people to wonder, like, yo, how does this rank in all the other Sony Spider-Man less movies? If I had to rank it, I would say that Madam Web is still the worst movie. And that's after reflecting on it, because for me, I had Venom 2. Actually, I'll take that back. Nope. Venom 2 is still the worst movie to me. Then it's Madam Web. And they're very close. So if you think Madam Web is the worst, I'm not going to argue with you. Venom 2, to me, is probably the worst, mainly because it had way more on its plate and fumbled the bag even more. It messed up with acting, with writing, with visuals. It fumbled so much more. Madam Web fumbled, but there was more on the plate for Venom 2 to fumble with. So Venom 2 is probably at my worst. Then right next to it is Madam Web. Then it's Morbius, because that was just a problem. Then I would say it's Venom 3, and that's also close with Morbius. First of all, these are all terrible. These are all bad. And then I would say it's Kraven, and then I would say the first Venom movie. Now, again, for me, the first Venom movie was watchable. I know some of y'all liked it more than me. It was watchable, but it was all downhill after that. There's been no recovering after that. So before we get into the next topic, y'all let me know, have you seen Kraven the Hunter? If you have, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't seen it yet, if you choose to go watch it, come on back to this video and let me know what you thought. That was painful. But let's jump into, I want to talk about what happened, because we need to have this conversation about why Sony has failed in their Spider-Man-less Marvel universe and the spinoffs. And I want to talk about 4 points that I believe are the biggest reasons why Sony failed. Okay. Now we've gone through how many movies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 something odd movies. And now we can, and supposedly, this is going to be the last one. So let's kind of go into that real quick. It says here, according to the Wrap, Sony has no plans for new Spider-Man movie spinoffs in the SSU after Kraven the Hunter. The studio now shifts its focus to Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, the animated Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, and the Nicolas Cage live-action Spider-Noir series. The Wrap mentions a top talent agent as saying that Sony has developed what they want to develop for now with the spinoffs. A Sony insider also commented on the franchise's status in the report, speaking about a lack of quality control. They said the movies just aren't good. So future Spider-Man movies and series are the plan moving forward. All right. That's, first of all, probably the wisest decision Sony has made. But that still doesn't answer the question. Why did they fail? What happened? What was the problem? I got 4 problems, maybe even 5. I don't know. First problem, which I think is the easiest, it's the most obvious. Everybody's been saying this since the day Sony announced that they was going to do spin-off movies. Where the hell is Spider-Man? Right? That's the number one reason. That's the first thing that comes to mind is there was no Spider-Man in these Spider-Man spin-off movies. No one is saying that these had to all be Spider-Man-led movies. But if you're going to spin off a main character like this, it would be helpful if Spider-Man showed up, if Spider-Man fought the main villain or whatever. Just some interaction would have helped. By the way, let me go into the number. Oh, no, actually, before I do that, I'll just say this. To their credit, you don't have to have Spider-Man in there, right? We just saw with the DCU, for example, or DC, Penguin. The Penguin series has done exceptionally well, and they don't need Batman in there, right? So it's not impossible to be successful as a spinoff if you don't have the main character, the main franchise character there. But it definitely helps. It definitely helps. Second thing, why Sony has failed. The marketing is terrible. The marketing does nothing but continue to gaslight and send people off. I recall when the Morbius trailer came out, what did we see in the trailer? You saw a poster of Spider-Man. So it was like, oh, y'all finally learned your lesson, huh? You gonna put a little Spider-Man in that? Nope. They even cut that whole scene out. Sony lied in their advertising just to gaslight folks. And then to make things even worse, you go to Madam Web, and what they gave you Spider-Man at home. They gave you the Wish version of Spider-Man with Ezekiel or whatever. Didn't make a lick of sense. Didn't even look good, but that's what they gave you. They was like, listen, I know you asked for Spider-Man, but we got this other version of Spider-Man for you. Don't you like that? No, we do not. So gaslighting through false advertising, bad trailers, and just literally lying in your films, that's a problem. That's the second reason why they failed. Third reason, Sony could not read the room. They could not read the room whatsoever. Whenever there is smoke, what do y'all do? You don't go, if you see the door is hot, you know there's a fire. You don't just open the door and walk right in and just be like, no, you don't do that. Okay, you go find, an exit, a fire extinguisher, something to put out the fire. But did Sony do that? No, they did not. Every single one of these spin-off movies after Venom, now I will not forgive y'all because y'all made Venom, the first movie, $850 million. Y'all gaslit up Sony and let them believe that this was going to be a successful thing to do. But they went ahead and said, hey, we just going to keep going. Even though every movie after that lost money. Every movie after that had poor ratings, had poor receptions. They said, nah, we just going to keep going. Let me give you an example. Universal, and y'all might not even remember this. Universal, in case some of y'all remember, they were going to have a monster universe. They were going to have a werewolf, a creature from the Black Lagoon, a vampire. They was going to have all Dracula movie. And guess what? Tom Cruise did The Mummy. When Tom Cruise did The Mummy and that flopped, Universal said, oh, sorry, we're done. That's it. We're not doing this again. Monster Universe canceled. Boy, they took pictures. They had all this stuff showing all the actors. They had Benicio del Toro. They had Tom Cruise. They had Luke Evans. They had a whole bunch of people just ready to go. Nah, man. Once they saw that writing on the wall, they said, we out of here. We're done. Did Sony? Hell no. Sony was so inept in reading the room that when Morbius came out and flopped and people went online and made fun of Morbius and actually sat here and said, it's Morbin time, y'all bamboozled Sony into believing that y'all liked the movie that just flopped to the point where Sony said, put Morbius back in the theaters. They put Morbius back in the theaters only to flop again. How does that not demonstrate a level of ineptitude of just straight up just, I don't know, incompetence? You really did not get that? Y'all didn't have no interns. You didn't have no young folks in the office to be like, excuse me, sir, they're actually not riding with y'all like that. They don't really want to see Morbius again, sir. Like, they don't. So Sony could not read the room. They did not know when to pull out. They didn't know when to pull the plug. They didn't know when to stop. So that part is their fault. And I want to talk about the last reason. And I think this is probably the bigger reason why the Sony experiment did not work. It was bad strategy. Now, like I said before, it's not a problem if you want to do a spinoff and you don't have the main character there, right? Like, obviously, it's a high risk, high reward. Again, we've seen the Penguin, high risk, but it has a high reward if it's done well. Not only did they have the strategy to sit here and say, hey, you know what? We're going to take these villains of Spider-Man and we're going to make them anti-heroes. That was terrible. And the reason why I say it was a bad idea is because when you start with these classic villains, keep in mind, this is why they got popular. They got popular because they were villains to Spider-Man. But you undercut that by saying, nah, we're going to start y'all off as anti-heroes. Y'all are going to be heroes with an edge. The issue that you come across with that is it's going to make it harder for us to care and to relate to these characters when they should have been fighting Spider-Man. It's very difficult for us to care about a traditional villain who is now an anti-hero. And now we eventually, because keep in mind, they wanted to do a Sinister Six, right? They always wanted to do that. But now, what happens if they fight Spider-Man? If Venom, who is, really out there trying to save people, and Morbius, he's a good guy now, and Kraven, he's like the best environmentalist out there. If all these villains are actually good guys and they go fight the good guy, what does that even look like? What, y'all are just gonna fight due to a misunderstanding and then y'all gonna be friends? That's not appealing TV. That's not appealing movie watching. That's not entertaining. It's a lot more effective, and this is proven, that you can take someone be a villain, have them go against the hero, and then you can make them an anti-villain, or you can make them an anti-hero later. That's what worked with Venom in the comics. Was a villain, got to popularity as he was giving Spider-Man problems, and then later on he became a lethal protector and he became kind of like an anti-hero. That was fine. But y'all sat here and went the other way around, and it did not work. This actually goes down to my last point, which is probably the most basic, fundamental things. The creatives at Sony are just terrible. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Like, I know in the industry, you can't call nobody bad. Y'all have shown us that as producers, as executives, I get it. I'm not going to go to no red carpets. I get it. Producers, directors, writers, all across the board, as creatives, you guys are terrible. You like the decision making to say, I'm going to be the producer of Morbius, and I'm going to get the same people that messed up Morbius to make Madam Web for me. How are you still having a job? Or, I know Venom 2 was terrible, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same people involved with Venom 2, I'm going to give them a promotion and do Venom 3. Employee of the month. This is terrible creative processing. You guys are terrible at picking talent. You're terrible at picking creatives. You're terrible at just running a franchise. It's just bad. It's just bad all across the board, from producing, directing, and writing. At no point do you mean to tell me that y'all couldn't have found better actors? I wouldn't say the actors. I think the actors were fine. But you couldn't find better writers? You couldn't find better directors? You couldn't find... Hell, if I was the executive of Sony, I'd be like, hey, man, that producer over there, he ain't giving us results. Y'all couldn't find a different producer? A different person to take over these films? How many places... I mean, actually, I'll take that back. This is America. It's the only time you could fail up. Because y'all clearly, a lot of them Sony producers, y'all clearly failed up. Everybody, from the writers to the directors to the producers, y'all failed up. So those are my 5 reasons as to why the Sony project with the spinoffs has failed. No main character with Spider-Man. You got terrible creatives. The marketing was terrible. You know, the bad strategy with the anti-villains and stuff, and just not being able to read the room. It's been problematic. And let me just say this. Let me say this, because I found this also kind of interesting that Kraven the Hunter now has a whopping 15% with 98 reviews. Now, first of all, how dare these 250 plus people give this a 70%? Y'all are the main problem that gaslight the studio to ignore the whopping reason why these movies are terrible. That's the only... y'all are the problem now. But as I've said before in my review, Kraven is not the worst movie. It's not the worst one, in my opinion. Like I said, that belongs to either Madam Web or Venom 2. Those are definitely the worst to me. But I think I can illustrate why people believe Kraven is the worst one. Because I've seen a lot of hot takes. I've actually seen some of the nicer critics out there just crap on Kraven a lot. More than I have. I want you to think about this. Imagine you sitting down and somebody walks their dog and they leave a turd right there. Just right there next to you. Now, here's the thing. You outside, you know what I'm saying? And you sitting there, you just sitting down. It's a little dog turd right next to you. And you be sitting there like, ooh, what was that? Ooh, where'd that come from? You probably don't even know where it came from, right? But guess what? It's a nice day outside. You got no problem. It's fine. Guess what? That was Venom 1. Okay? It was a nice day. You smelled that little turd, but you ignored it. You ignored it because it's a lot of fresh air around you. Okay. Then the next Sony movie comes out. Another turd right next to you. You're like, dang, what is that smell? Then another Sony movie comes out. Another turd. Then another turd. Then another turd. Kraven is not the biggest turd that Sony has made. But when you add the final turd on a pile of turds, you get the full whiff of all the turds. And it's going to make that last turd just smell even worse. So to me, it is the compilation and the addition and the piling of turds of Sony movies that make people believe Kraven is that bad. If that thing did not have, if Sony didn't have that track record of terrible movie after terrible movie after terrible movie, people would not pile on even harder when it comes to Kraven. If Kraven had came out, I don't know, instead of Venom 1, it might have been maybe a 6 out of 10, you know, but whatever. But the mere fact that these expectations have gone lower and they've just continuously found a way to just creatively get worse, it stinks. It stinks. So yeah, this whole Sony thing has completely soured anything and everything Sony has done whenever it did not involve Spider-Man. I think if I were Sony, you need to become best friends with Marvel. Whatever Marvel wants, just do it. Because Marvel has already earned you hundreds of millions of dollars to billions of dollars every single time. Every time Sony has worked with Marvel, they have made money. Now, shout out to the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. Those have been pretty good, but that's animation. It's a slightly different lane than dealing with live action. Anyway, what do you guys think about the downfall of the Sony, Marvel, Spider-Man less side of the universe? I think it is absolutely brilliant that they like, you know what, maybe we should go ahead and just worry about Spider-Man movies only. Yes, that's a brilliant idea. We've only been telling you that for 5 years, if not longer. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. JN, Venom was all right. Everything else, nah, bro. All right. Hey, listen, if you say so. Let's see. JN again, they canceled the Donald Glover movie. Of course they did. Of course. Why not? Quiet one, what you got? There are no true fans in the creative boardrooms. Yeah, I get that impression. It's either they're not true fans or they are true fans, but they just don't know how to connect with other fans. Because that can happen. There are some people, I'm not going to name any names from Marvel, but there are some people that believe to read the comics and they still come away with a whole different interpretation of a mantle, maybe, and it's just not what works or translates to the main audience. So that happens. Thank you for that, quiet one. JN, Sony has some GI issues and might need an enema. It's something. Hit them with the Malax. Hit them Milk of Magnesia. I don't know. One of them. Something. Jay and Sony, them roses really do smell like boo boo. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. GA, what you said? This man really said they don't know how to pull out. Yeah, they don't know how to, pull the plug. I meant pull the plug. Y'all know. So get y'all minds out the gut. See, it's too late. It's too late, and that's the problem. That's half the problem. All right, guys, that's all I got for tonight. I really, really appreciate y'all coming through. Like I said, I do have some stuff coming up for you guys. Stay tuned for that From interview. I'm gonna drop that tomorrow. I will post it as a live, but it won't be live. It's pre-recorded, but I'll be there to comment with you guys along the way. That's kind of the whole point of me doing it like that. Yeah, I think we got one more live. We got one more live next week. Unless the news is dry, but and then after that, no live during the holiday break, gonna be hanging out with the family. So In case I don't see y'all, just in case, have a great holiday. Enjoy your time off. If we're live next week, I'll see you next week. But of course, it is the weekend, so you guys know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. And until next time, see y'all later.